So the big question is this: how do most agents who struggle to get the information that most successful agents hoard to themselves grow and prosper without this information? That's the big question, and this video cast is the answer. Welcome to Real Estate Rockstars. I'm your host, Pat Hyben. All right, Rockstar Nation, I have a super returning guest. Been some while. I think it was 221 she's on, and now we're bursting over 600, and I've been wanting to get her back for a long time. And from Asheville, North Carolina, Rowena Patton is on. Rowena, welcome to Real Estate Rockstars again.
Oh my gosh, I've missed you so much. It's so good to be back.
Hey, Rowena, why don't you give everybody a little rundown on who you are so they get to know you better?
Sure. So I'm an agent in Asheville, North Carolina. I've been in the real estate business I just got my 16-year card, actually. Here it is. Look, business anniversary card, 16
Happy
years.
Anniversary.
11 years. What am I talking about? I just added 5 years to my life. So, yeah, I've been in this business. I've had the ups and the downs, the good, the bad, and the ugly, everything in between. And I'm very, very passionate about teaching and coaching and unique value proposition. I have recently published a book that the working title was, I hope it's okay that I say this, Pat.
No, please. I'm going to put a copy, of course, of Rowena's new book on her show notes, and we'll get on all that at the end, but keep talking.
Well, the working title was The Way We Do Real Estate Sucks. And then I got it a little more politically correct, and it's Find Your Unique Value Proposition to Dominate Your Market, which is a bit more PC than The Way We Do Real Estate Sucks. It's really around, I've never really understood why we put a sign in and a lockbox on the door and do a CMA, which, most agents are trained very little. We'd all violently agree that some people are great at them, some people aren't so great at them. So it was just a different way of looking at how we do real estate and testing your unique value proposition. Are you really going in and presenting with a unique value proposition when you go to a listing, or you're working with buyers, or you're hiring people for that matter? What does the unique value proposition of your team look like? And the way I explain this when I'm teaching is I want you to imagine, let's just take a listing presentation. This applies to anything. When you're presenting anything in life. When you're going on your first date, what's your unique value proposition? What makes you stand out? So imagine that there's three of you standing outside a house, and they're kind of narcissistic sellers, and they want to know what's great about you, and they're going to give you 3 minutes. So are you presenting givens? You know, when I teach this, I say, okay, guys, so give me your listing presentation. Let's go through the bullets. And I can show you in the book, they come up with a list that looks something like this. I hope you can see that okay.
Yeah, and a lot of people are listening.
Yeah, so absolutely. So on this list, it says things like, place the listing on the MLS within 24 hours. Price it properly. Great looking sign in the yard. Secure lockbox on the door. Take good photos, really good photos. Advertise in a real estate magazine. Advertise the listing on 400 plus websites. Negotiate better. Communicate more often. Make recommendations for staging the home. And my favorite one, if I can find it, is a quote that somebody actually said to me once when I was teaching. Here it is. For those of you listening, this says, I get back to people within 24 hours, which it does say anonymous. I'm not giving away who said that in class, but that was the unique value proposition. So we have a test.
Nowadays, I mean, if you're a hungry, massive brand new agent, you might have the guts to shorten that up. I get back to everybody within an hour. Right?
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
It depends on who you are, how you're going to do it. Now, for the people listening, they can't see this. What I worked out with Rowena is she has this test in her book to try to help you figure out your unique value proposition. I'm going to put it on her show notes today at hybendigital.com/Rowena, ROWENA, and the number 2. But Rowena, I think everybody kind of has a grasp of what a unique value proposition is based on what you said, which is, something that they can do that makes people say, I want to work with them besides the fact of, here's a house that I want to look at, because most buyers, call on houses. They're not calling on the agent because of something unique about them.
Right.
I think the question that we can provide massive value with today for people listening is, what are some of the most used, or should be the most used, value propositions that agents can inherit? And these are guys, and the people that are using these value propositions are agents that some of the top agents in the world are using these, and any of these can be picked and choosed from. And Rowena tells about these in the book. And I asked her if she wouldn't mind going over them today. There's 15 of them, and we're going to rapid fire these 15. So first of all, what's the first one?
Well, I can tell you that the people we feature in here are bold coaches, maps coaches, all kinds of really top people, like, for example, Chris Heller. So Chris Heller is the former CEO of Keller Williams. We've also got Marty Hampton in there, who's number 3 for RE/MAX in the country. We have 20 agents featured who are using the different tests. And like you said, we do have a test in there for your UVP. So we're going to post that up on your site. Thank you for that. So let's first of all talk about you and your personal value propositions. So geography. Where have you lived? What's your heritage? We've all been there when, where are you from, Pat, originally?
So I was born in Georgetown Hospital.
Okay, so DC,
Maryland,
Washington, DC. That's where I moved to when I first moved to the States 20 years ago. So when you get on the phone with somebody who knows Washington, what happens? It's some kind of magic, even if you were there for half an hour. And amazingly, now Pat is going to be the most genius agent ever in the world. So why aren't we using that? Why aren't we talking about where we're from? And there's various ways to do that. The book takes you through step by step. Work experience and connections. So if you used to be a dental associate, for example, put your real estate leverage on and go out with your pile of business cards and walk into all the dentist offices and say, hey, I used to be in your business. I have lots of buyers coming in. One of the first things they ask is, who do you recommend as a dentist? I'm putting material together on a bunch of dentists. Do you mind if I interview you guys for 5 minutes? It's a great way of going out and prospecting, and you speak dentist language, or you speak mommy language, or you speak engineer language, or you speak whatever it is, teacher language, police language. We leave our work experience behind much of the time. Cultural heritage, maybe you know about Italian. So are you writing about all the Italian restaurants? Are you going to visit the Italian restaurants saying, hey, I've got a bunch of buyers coming in. They always want to know where the Italians are, and I'm going out and, gathering all this material together. It's my library of Italian, maybe Italian turkeys, maybe Italian get-togethers, Italian anything. It could be Jewish, it could be French, it could be whatever. But cultural heritage is humongous. Even if you have to steal it from your great-grandparents, that's fine too. And if nothing else, you get a bunch of great meals out of it. What languages do you speak? Blows me away that people speak different languages and never talk about it, or don't blog in those different languages. Everything is searchable now. So start blogging in those different languages. Again, it takes you through how to do that. Hobbies and interests. Graham McKenzie, he's a fishing guide up in Idaho. And we've really tied together where he can blog on fishing, tie it together with buying a house that's within 10 minutes drive of any of the great rivers up there. And he can go out and really get in his joy zone and get out with fish, and at the same time sell a lot of houses. It's awesome. Like, get in your joy zone. Your family structure. So the best one is I have, I call them kids in my class because, I'm not 19 anymore. So there'll be a 21-year-old agent who says, well, I just live at home with my parents, so none of that fits me. Oh my gosh, you guys, you know how many people are living at home with their parents now? Start writing about your experience. Start writing about how you deal with your parents at home. Start writing about, get together with a financial advisor. Do some video blogs. Do some writing blogs, whatever speaks to you. But get that material out there and build your library about how you put down enough money to get your first home together. Because a lot of people who are in your situation, and you can talk to it from the heart. And then, oh my gosh, the last one. What do I specialize in? if anybody else says selling houses, oh my gosh, it's not selling houses. You love to sell something about houses. It could be you love historic houses. It could be you love condos, townhomes, something. And people go, yeah, but you know, if I specialize in oceanfront houses, everybody else will think I don't sell everything else. They're not searching, give me an agent that does not specialize in oceanfront houses. You pick up all those anyway. What you're doing is losing all the specialist market that you love by not talking that language and not reaching out to those people. So that's the, you know, the general overview of what you can look at yourself. And then we've got the programs. So we've got a number of programs, and I'm going fast here, Pat. So okay, just keep rolling.
I want you to think about the word toolbox. What is a toolbox? A toolbox is a box full of tools that you use to build something great. At Real Estate Rockstars, we've created our own free toolbox. So everybody that comes on the show as a guest brings a tool with them, and we plow them all into this toolbox, and we give it away for our viewing audience to basically use as they wish. Everything we put in there is an actionable item that can be downloaded, can be printed, can be used immediately. And we got things like scripts and dialogues, checklists for teams, checklists to keep agents accountable, referral forms that are filled out at settlement to get referrals by your buyers and sellers. Everything you could think of that you could use on a regular basis about real estate is included in this toolbox. And it's helping agents worldwide sell more houses and make their jobs a lot easier and processes much more efficient. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox 444-999. Do it now. I mean, are you reading off all 15 of them now? Is that what you're doing, or?
Well, no, so those weren't the programs. Those are how you look at your personal unique value proposition. How do you delve? So those of you with teams, how do you go to each one of your team members and look at what they've got? The book takes you through 1 through 7 on different ways to do it. And almost, I've never met anybody in my 6 years of teaching that doesn't have one of those, that they can start blogging on at least once a week, videos, talking about.
Those are all just like ideas to help get your flowing. So what are some of these ones that you have listed out, the 15? Yeah,
so those are established. So those are how to dig into your own and develop your own unique value proposition. And these are off-the-shelf programs that you can look to use. We actually offer them in a box to one team. You've got to be doing 10 million or more in a market center for Keller Williams. Those are for Keller Williams agents. So we offer all of these in a box and training on them. However, the book is a how-to. If you want to develop it from scratch and do it yourself, have at it. So the Love It or Leave It program, we know that sometimes life throws us doozies. So you buy, in fact, we're going to list one today. We buy a house, our parents get sick in a different state, and we suddenly have to turn around and sell the house. I developed this because I had a client who was in this situation. So what we do is we offer a Love It or Leave It guarantee for 10 years. For 6 months, we'll sell it for free. The rest of the time we'll do a discounted, it ratchets down the discount as the years go on, but we'll do a discount across those 10 years.
So just to dumb this down for everybody, the first USP that she's using to get business today is the Love It or Leave It, which basically says, hey, you know, if you want to leave this house, if you hate it within the first 6 months, I'll sell it and I won't charge you the listing side of the commission. After 6 months, I'm going to give you a discount. All the way up into the first 10 years, I'm going to give you a discount. Obviously, it helps with, you know, clients sticking with you if the average one moves after 5 or 7 years.
Right.
They're going to get a discount for the first 10 years if they, if they want to. Okay, so that makes sense. What's the second one?
You know what it helps with the most, Pat? That's the most beneficial thing that comes out of it. First of all these programs are customer centric. They're not designed for agents. They're designed for customers to make the real estate process easier for them. The best thing that comes out of this, I feel, is obviously helping the clients. But for your agents who say, I just don't know what to say when I get on the phone, how about reminding them of the Love It or Leave It guarantee? That should give you some material rather than, hey, how you doing? You know, I know you closed with us a year ago. A lot of your team members are actually nervous about saying that. So Homes for Heroes is the next one, program of giving. We've got 4 different programs of giving. Mine happens to be Homes for Heroes. That's where we give a 25% rebate back to teachers, healthcare professionals, police, firefighters, military, retired and active. And we've given back about $580,000.
Wow.
Yeah, on my
$580,000 you've given back to teachers and firefighters through this
locally,
through
just
this
locally,
MSP, which is, you call it the Homes for Heroes, and they just it's a simple kickback of 25% of whatever your commission is to someone who buys a house from you that fits into one of these civil servant categories, or anybody that lists a house with you.
It's a community server, so somebody who serves our community. And I went about trying to develop this program myself, and then I found somebody else had done it. So it's a program of giving, and that section, program 2, talks about a number of different agents who have different programs of giving, ways to give back. Program 3, CPO, that's by far our biggest one. That is where you get the appraisal, the inspection, and offer the home warranty up front. So
CBO?
CPO, certified pre-owned. So think about
certified pre-owned, like a certified pre-owned car.
Exactly right. So in fact, you nailed it there. We put a $20,000 car in the certified pre-owned program, and it goes through a 156-point inspection on average. And yet we take a $200,000, a $500,000, a $1 million home, and we put it on the MLS when we know that on average there are 26 plus items wrong with it. And they may be nitpicky little items, but there are 26 things wrong with it, and yet we don't do the pre-inspection. In most states, if you do the inspection up front, you can take care of it, you've got time, you can use anybody you want.
And once they do a home inspection, they do a termite, and they do an appraisal.
Yes.
Who pays for that?
They pay for it.
Okay. And then you advertise it as a CBO or certified.
CPO, exactly.
CPO,
no,
certified pre-owned. Okay.
We actually put CPO because people dial in and they say, on the MLS, they call in to say, what's a CPO? And we explain it to them, and it's a complete no-brainer. So on average, we have over a third of contracts drop out. And it's really interesting. It's a measurement that most agents don't track. Start tracking your fallouts. When we looked at it across, and this is all over the country, it's about a third. It's just over a third, actually. CPO dramatically cuts that out. Why? There's 2 reasons why a contract falls out. One is inspections, the other one's appraisals. We all know that, and yet we just leave it to chance. And it blows me away that, again, we put a car on that's $20,000. On average, a CPO car gets 3.5% more for that car, because people want to buy a car they feel secure in, that they can drive away and there's nothing wrong with it. And if anything goes wrong, there's a warranty. Why on earth wouldn't we want that with a house? Especially as we're in this shift in the market now, so it gives people definitely a better feeling about they're buying something that's worthwhile. Next one, listing storyboard. That's where we do a walking tour video around the house, bringing it to life. Google now, of course, owns YouTube, so Google can reach down into YouTube. You miss my hand movements there if you're not watching the video. And it can read all of the words. It used to be that we had all of our videos transcribed. We don't have to anymore because Google can read the words. So what you want to focus on there for listing storyboards or videos is lifestyle. And people say, how long should the videos be? Everyone says 3 minutes. I say baloney. That's because if you're a buyer in New York and the house isn't in New York, if you're interested in the house, you want to see everything that's interesting about the house. So if it's an uninteresting house with not a lot, the video is going to be a minute. If it's an interesting house with lots of moldings and features, and definitely start outside, point it up and down the road, and then walk up the driveway. Why? We never do that, and the driveway and the road access is important. Are there curbs? Are there cars up on bricks outside? Like, it gives you a feel for the neighborhood. So really bring it to life. Under that, we do an interview with the sellers. Where do you love to eat? Where do you love to shop? Where do you work? That brings it to life, and we hyperlink it out onto all those Facebook pages. Then we have the sellers have all their friends and family comment underneath, which each time is like a wave to Google. So it pushes it up in the search engines. And it's much more exciting to send a buyer somewhere else a listing storyboard than it is a boring MLS sheet, which everyone else.
How long are your listing storyboards? Some of them are an hour.
Oh gosh, no. So that's just the video portion. The interviews are whatever the sellers want to write. And of course they can, and it's all electronic, so it just drops in automatically. And the sellers can say things we can't. So they can say, our kids loved growing up here. It was a safe neighborhood.
Do you record their voice saying that?
No, you could record their voice saying it, but most of them don't want to do that. They don't want to be on camera. So it's electronically input. So they just write a story and they're interview.
You just pay somebody to do all that and kind of like a.
No, we have a form. So if you go to listingstoryboard.com, you can see the form.
Okay, beautiful.
Or allstarcertifiedprograms.com and click on listing storyboard. There's a form in there. You can just copy the form. It says, where do you love to shop? Start your answer with.
Pay listing storyboard to do that for you.
Well, listing storyboard's mine. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do it.
I like that. That's awesome. And that's definitely a unique selling proposition. Something different about Rowena. If you want her to be your listing agent.
And we do coming soon, and we do coming soon with a twist. In the book, it features Marty Hampton, who has a whole program, amazing program around coming soon, that's paid. So I do both ends of the spectrum. I show you how to do a free coming soon program and make it easy for your agents to put the information on there. Coming soon, of course, is where when the seller isn't quite ready, or you take a few days to generate the buzz and the activity about the house before you actually list it. I'm not going to go into that because most people know about that one.
Yeah.
Then we have the radio show. Obviously, not everybody can afford or wants to do a radio show every week. I've done mine for 6.5 years. The thing is, a radio show is just a platform. What's really important to us as agents is content. We have to have content. Super, super important. What I mean by content is it could be all the things we talked about earlier, like the geography, what your hobbies are, because other people share those. What kind of restaurants there are, everything about your area, the history, the historic districts, the type of condos you have. And then once you've got those, choose a platform. That could be a blog platform. It could be Facebook. It could be a video platform. Find some way to get the information out there. Mine just happens to be a radio show. Don't get tied up in the expense or how you're delivering it. You just need a platform, and then start gathering your content. Dan Ihara, who's in one of the top agents in Hawaii, he's in Gary's top group with me. He's featured in there for doing seminars, and he gives the, in the book, he demonstrates the topics for his seminars he's very successful with. Priority seller and buyer program. That's where we have a program set out 1 to 6 where our buyers and sellers fill in forms before we even meet with them. It'd be kind of nice, wouldn't it?
I want you to think about the word toolbox. What is a toolbox? A toolbox is a box full of tools that you use to build something great. At Real Estate Rockstars, we've created our own free toolbox. So everybody that comes on the show as a guest brings a tool with them, and we plow them all into this toolbox, and we give it away for our viewing audience to basically use as they wish. Everything we put in there is an actionable item that can be downloaded, can be printed, can be used immediately. And we got things like scripts and dialogues, checklists for teams, checklists to keep agents accountable, referral forms that are filled out at settlement to get referrals by your buyers and sellers. Everything you could think of that you could use on a regular basis about real estate is included in this toolbox. And it's helping agents worldwide sell more houses and make their jobs a lot easier and processes much more efficient. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox 444-999. Do it now. You call them priority. It's like the VIP room, or you make them
exactly. Exactly, and some of this is, some of these are nothing new, and it's something we all would like people to sign up and save their time, especially when they're just coming in for the weekend. This is a way of putting it together in a systematic way that is a program that makes it seem perfectly common sense rather than us just talking, you know. Sell for free, buy new. I love this one. So you get a builder on your preferred builder program. And then you get a seller that is interested in building a new home that has a resale home to sell. We sell it for free. They actually pay us as the agent when they sell it. And then the builder, when they close on the new home with your preferred builder, the builder rebates the seller side commission, so they get to sell it for free. Often the builders cap that at $5,000 or whatever they want to cap it at, depending on the price of the home. Otherwise, it could go broke very quickly. But that's a great one to do too.
I love that. Yeah, I love it.
Especially for new home builds. Land sales packages. So many agents don't do land because it just costs money and it sits there, and especially if it's not downtown, if you have it, especially in rural areas, people list a lot of land and it just sits for a long time. So we figured out a way to charge up front, put a marketing fee in place, and have a land package. We say, absolutely, we list land and here's our package. And they're quite happy with that. A lease option. We figured out a way to put a lease option out there, which as the market shifts will become more popular again, whereby the agents and the seller get a bunch of money up front. So I'm one of those people that says, don't touch lease options with a 10-foot pole. It's like, how can we? And make it work for everybody. I'm certainly not saying advocating for lease options. Sometimes it's a useful tool in the toolbox. Estate planning program. We've all had people who are the siblings of parents who have passed away, or a parent has passed away. And it's a really sad time for everyone involved, and you usually get the siblings not quite in agreement with each other about what's happening. So with CPO and our other programs, we've put a whole estate planning program together to make it so much easier in that really difficult time.
Just say, hey, we've got at Rowena Patton Group, we've got this plan that no one else has.
Yeah.
That's just for estates.
Yes.
And then you sell it to estate attorneys or someone going through estate, or if they're talking to 3 agents, they're like, hey, well, she's already got a special set up. Yeah.
Yeah. And guys, you don't need all these. This has been 11 years worth of developing these.
I love them all though.
And my background's marketing. So, I had a bit of a background in this. So it was a little easy, but you only need one, and then really master it and take it forward. When it's mastered, add another one. Don't try and add all these at once. The All-Star Divorce Real Estate Planning Program. I love this. This is not how to go about planning your divorce. It's that, 40 to 50% of our colleagues and friends and family, unfortunately, will get divorced. And again, it's a superbly difficult time for everyone involved. And there's a way to go about it. CPO is fantastic in these situations. You want to get that appraisal. We have CPO and other elements that we put together to help people who are divorcing. And the last thing they want to think about is the difficulty in selling the home on top of that. A whole referral program and how important they are. And the last one is providing the highest level of service for clients, where we feature Mike Hicks and his promise, the way he uses his promise script. And we've got probably 25 pages of script in this book. There's a lot of script in here, so that you can practice the scripts. And I've started teaching using the scripts where I give the book out to the class, and the script's written in a sort of play fashion, by Gladys, the old-fashioned agent, and the new modern listing agent. Yeah, it's Gladys. So we have someone act out Gladys, and the listing agent, and the sellers, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. So makes it kind of fun. So that's it in a nutshell. And the third portion is really, really embarrassing, because I went ahead and put lots of my 90s, 80s and 90s pictures in here of me when I was running my marketing company, and when I was expanding. This is really funny, in the 80s in Paris and Berlin. I hope you couldn't see that.
Where are you from?
I've no shame. From the UK originally.
Okay.
So I was an hour and a half north of London, and the EU came about, and I thought, the European community, which we're hearing so much about recently with Brexit, with them leaving the EU.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'm so old, I was there in the beginning when it started, and I thought, this is an opportunity. I'm just going to call people in Berlin and Paris. And no, I don't speak German. I speak a little French. I'm just going to call them and say, hey.
Another USP, right? Another USP. Trying to get French people, or English, or UK. Well, this has been great, Rowena. I really appreciate you. We went through 15 massively unique value propositions that any real estate agent out there can basically take on themselves and say, you know, this is something that I'm going to do to make myself unique. Obviously, Rowena at one point or another, or all at once, has used all 15. So don't be afraid to take 5 of these and say, these are my 5 unique value propositions. All the top agents, guys, everyone out there that's doing tons of business has unique value propositions. They have things that make them different than the 3 Ps, you know, the put the sign in the yard, put in MLS, and pray.
Yes, really.
Kind of what it's all about. So we're going to put everything we talked about here on hibandigital.com/Rowena and the number 2. I'm going to put a link to her book, Finding Your Unique Value Proposition, and I'm going to put the free questionnaire on how to help find yours on there that you could download, print out, and fill out for yourself. It will also put it in the agent toolbox, which you can get by just texting toolbox to 444-999 or going to hibandigital.com/toolbox. And I'm going to put all of Rowena's contact information in Asheville, North Carolina on there. So if you guys want to reach out, you want to send her a referral, you want to just say hello, you can find her there and keep in touch with her. Rowena, thanks so much for coming on today. Really appreciate all you offered. And I look forward to breaking some bread with you as my wife and I will be in Asheville in the coming months for sure.
That will be so much fun. And if you want some more information about the book and an outline, we're absolutely going to put this link up there on Pat's. And we'll also put the link, www.uvpbook.com, like Unique Value Proposition. That gives you the whole outline. You can read some reviews on there as well.
Beautiful. Thanks, Rowena.
I'll wait to see you. Missing you already.
Thank you for watching Real Estate Rockstars. Please give us a review wherever you're watching or wherever you're listening. We eat feedback for breakfast, and I don't care whether you give me a 1-star review or a 5-star review. I just want the review. I want to know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. Would love to improve things. Hey, and listen, please subscribe. The more subscribers we get and the more reviews we get, the better guests we'll get for you in the future. Feel free to reach out to me anywhere on social media. Just type in my name. I'm everywhere, and I look forward to meeting you in the digital world. Have a great day, and thanks again for listening to Real Estate Rockstars.